Well, good afternoon, Chief Constable. Thank you for joining me here at Police Headquarters today. And this morning, we welcomed our partners and our stakeholders to the launch of the Threads exhibition that we're holding here this week. Now, the exhibition itself really helps to bring home the message about the prevalence of violence against women and girls in society today. And this particular exhibition focuses on femicide. And I don't know about you, Chief Constable, but I was really moved to see the dress that has the names of all the women who were murdered by partners in 2023, their names embroidered on it. And what I found particularly moving about that piece of art, Chief Constable, was that on some of those ribbons, the name was just unknown. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that that is a really, really disturbing sight to see and brings home the powerful message that we'd like to share with people, and we'd like to really take forward and raise awareness of these issues.
Absolutely, Commissioner. I fully agree with you. I think having the input this morning, it was great to see so many colleagues and so many trusted friends of Gwent Police here who were able to come and be part of what is a very, very powerful, as you say, set of images that have been put together by artists. And I think what's really important for us within Gwent Police is that we give this opportunity to our staff and our colleagues and our partner agencies to come and visit. And also, I know you've got plans for different community groups to have opportunities to come and visit these different types of art. And it really is a different way of showing the importance of this very, very serious subject. Unfortunately, the prevalence of it within our society and our communities, the impact it has on people, a huge impact and a real opportunity. I'm really, really grateful for Threads for giving us these items for display over the next 16 days of the White Ribbon campaign. And I will say it's a great time as well for us to have them on display. We've got 48 brand new recruits. We've got many meetings that we've got planned of different officers and staff in this building in the forthcoming weeks. And they will all benefit from seeing these pieces of art, as well as piecing that together with the things that they hear and read.
Yes, it's a very powerful exhibition, isn't it? And it really does make you think. And I'm really pleased to hear you say that the new recruits will have an opportunity to view this. And hopefully that will give them a broad perspective on this particular issue. Because we've seen very recently, Chief Constable, that the Panorama programme on the BBC, looking into the Metropolitan Police, revealed that there's still a lot to do since Baroness Casey's report came out in 2023. I'm sure, like me, you were very shocked and disappointed to see that. But what reassurance can you offer the citizens of Gwent that what we saw in that programme isn't happening here in Gwent?
So exactly the same as you, Krishna. I was horrified by some of the commentary and some of the image that came from that Panorama programme. I don't think it reflected the vast majority of police officers, certainly not in Gwent, who go about their daily work 100% committed to helping people, improving their quality of lives, addressing vulnerability and really tackling perpetrators. I think we within the force of Gwent, we've been through a tough journey ourselves over recent times. We have made strong stances in relation to misogynistic behaviour, to racist behaviour, and to any behaviours that are attacking people with protected characteristics. We're on a journey right now, an educational journey with our staff, and our staff are really understanding that. We're working with the College of Policing, we're working with academic providers in the University of South Wales to actually improve our cultural awareness. I'm really encouraged by our recent employer opinion survey that reassured to me that so many of our staff, 90% plus of our staff, don't just recognise poor behaviours, but are confident to step up and report it. And I don't mean anonymously report it, to step up and overtly report it, because they have confidence that we will deal with things robustly. Now, it would be naive of me to say that there is not within forces outside of the Metropolitan Police people who had those beliefs. But what I will say is that they will not last for very long in policing, and certainly won't last in Gwent Police, because we have a strong values base along those lines, and our staff will not tolerate it, and have my full support in raising it so that we could address it accordingly.
Thank you, Chief Constable, and thank you very much for providing such a robust response, which I'm sure will give the people of Gwent confidence in the work that's going on here. Can I ask you about a particular topic, Chief Constable, that relates to the violence against women and girls, and that's stalking? Now, we've seen an increase in awareness of stalking. We better understand it now, better understand the issues around it and patterns of behaviour in relation to it. What work is underway in Gwent, please, to improve your approach to stalking?
So I think stalking and harassment, as you quite rightly identified, Commissioner, is something that was misunderstood. Not just misunderstood within the public domain, but also within policing. We've become more and more apparently aware of the fact that behaviours that lead to the more extreme end of violence against women and girls start with more nuanced things, and they can include controlling and coercive behaviour. They can also include stalking and harassment. And having that real understanding of what harassment is and what stalking is really important for people to be able to consider reporting it in the first place. And it comes in many different ways. It comes in physical actions and unwanted attention, but it also comes in online activity as well. And what I'm, as much as it concerns me that we're seeing an escalation in stalking and harassment, I'm encouraged by the fact that it's actually being understood and people are feeling confident to come forward and report it. Now, tackling it in many different ways is important for us, and we are engaging regularly with the Crown Prosecution Service on the different types of cases to get the best outcomes for people, because preventing reoffending is hugely important to me. Even more so than detection, because we want to stop people becoming victims in the first place. However, dealing with these matters in a multitude of ways, by the traditional ways via court, but also in other long-term effective ways, such as through civil orders, is also really important. And for that reason, we've recently employed a specific civil orders member of staff to make sure that we can progress the right cases through to our Joint Legal Services team to get outcomes for those people who have been undertaking this course of behaviour. Thank
you, Chief Constable. It's good to hear the progress that's been made in relation to that. We also know that there's a huge amount being done to improve outcomes for rape victims. What work are you undertaking across both your organisation, but with partner organisations as well, to ensure that women who report being raped are believed, their reports investigated, and that they get the justice that they deserve?
It's a hugely important issue, this is, Commissioner. I'm glad you asked that question. I think rape and serious sexual offences is, for me, at the top end spectrum of the types of incidents that we deal with within policing. Now, traditionally, it's fair to say that policing has not got this right, and the criminal justice pathway for victims has been incredibly challenging. And I know that we've had instances whereby victims, survivors, have supported that they felt a harrowing experience of almost being re-traumatised whilst going through that reporting stage. And unfortunately, we know historically that at many stages on the journey towards an ultimate court case, we lose victims. That's not good enough. We have to improve in relation to that. So that also starts from a starting place whereby we have confidence from people to report things. Operation Soteria is an operation which is exactly focused on that. It's about really giving confidence to people who've been subjected to such crimes that they are gonna have rapes and sexual offences dealt with properly. And that comes from the starting position of being believed from the very offset. And I think that confidence needs to be there from victims, that we will investigate everything thoroughly with an open mind, and really looking at every element, a bit of evidence that we can along that journey, and ensuring then that when we get it to a position whereby we can secure forensic evidence and corroborating evidence, that we keep them involved on every stage and step of that pathway, because it is an important time for them, and one where they must have worries and concerns. And we put in place very robust measures for bail conditions or for remand applications where such allegations are so serious. And we do that with a real vigour. So having a real true victim focus is really important to me.
So, Chief Constable, it's November, we're entering a really busy period with Christmas coming up, and we want women to feel safe and enjoy a night out during the festive period. What reassurance can you offer to women who may be going out on their Christmas parties that they will be safe? And what response will they get from Gwent Police if they report that they're not?
So I think feeling safe is a fundamental right for everybody who live within my community. That's something that I feel passionately about and what I want our staff to provide, along with our partners as well, safe environments for people to go about their business. And obviously, as you rightly identified, Kirsty, there's a heightened time for the late night economy, and for people to go out for Christmas parties, office parties and the like, and enjoy themselves. But specifically to females feeling safe, it's a real concern for me, and one that I've shared with my leadership team, and I'm really pleased to report that our officers will be concentrating on the late night economy throughout the Christmas period, in line with the Safer Streets Winter campaign that has been driven centrally. We will be running our own Operation Vigilant, which will be a combination of overt uniformed officers to be visibly present across the late night economy, but also covert officers who are in their in plain clothes, and there'll be a combination there of safeguarding for females who might have drunk too much alcohol, but also looking out for sinister individuals who might be looking at who's in the city, because unfortunately we know that can be where people who've got a propensity to take such action for opportunistic crime can go at those times. So preventing that happening, again, the huge thing for me, detecting things is important, but if we can prevent things happening, that will always be the way that we drive things.
I'm glad you mentioned prevention, because prevention is as important as tackling violence against women and girls when it happens, isn't it? It's about the actions that we take to try and address that very early on. What prevention work are you undertaking across Gwent, and particularly with partners, to tackle the wider misogyny in some communities?
So I think that unfortunately misogyny is something which is societally still being tackled. We know from decades gone by that comments and behaviours that were socially acceptable certainly are not tolerated these days in professional environments, and that needs to extend into our communities across the piece. There are also additional challenges these days whereby misogynistic viewpoints can be expressed online, and unfortunately there are social media influencers who are overtly giving viewpoints which display toxic masculinity, and not really advocating what we would want males within our future communities to represent. And we've made many strides in relation to getting in a far better place, nowhere near where we should be, but getting in a better place. And some of these individuals are a risk to us actually going backwards. So it's really important that we work with our partners to tackle these issues, culturally, really ensuring that we all as public services have a professional environment in the workplace, but also that then displays and goes out to the way that we deal with the public. And certainly within Gwent Police, we monitor carefully complaints that we have, substandard service, and we look out overtly for any thematic behaviours. And if we're having things that concern us, we take action accordingly. Now that can be a low-level action of educational type matters, but it can also extend to full disciplinary matters because there is no tolerance for those sort of behaviours, and people who have that values base are not welcome within Gwent Police.
Our communities today, Chief Constable. But I'd like to turn attention now to online harms. Now, online harms are listed in the NPCC's VORG strategy, threat risk assessment of one of the 4 priority areas. So policing across England and Wales considers this to be a priority, a serious issue for us. What work is the force doing here in Gwent to record, analyse and respond to the growing threat of tech-enabled violence against women and girls?
Yes, so it is a growing concern for us, and technology, as fantastic as it is in relation to enhancing the way that we can undertake our activity within policing, it does also mean that we have to stay very much alive and front-footed to what are emerging threats and tackling those online harms, like influencers, but also aspects that young people particularly might come across that are influencing their behaviours, is a real priority for us. So a combination of factors really would help us in staying alert to these types of threats. And we've also got dedicated staff who work within the online activity. So we've got cyber staff and also police investigators who work online. Now, some of those are overt staff, and again, some of them are covert staff, and they're tackling some of these issues. We're also working as much as we can with service providers. We certainly actively, with our corporate communications team, make sure that we can contact and engage with people who have put material online to get it taken down when it could cause harm and offence. And that doesn't always extend to criminality. Sometimes that can extend to factors that might be non-crime hate incidents, for example. And we actively work in that space to try and prevent those aspects as well. There's a larger piece of work that NPCC, National Police Chiefs Council, are working with to work with the big tech providers to ensure that offensive material does not go out. But that is a bit of a separate challenge in itself, and obviously falls into that wider aspect of freedom of expression as well, a difficult area to work in right now.
And I really welcome that response, because what you've also illustrated there is something that comes up time and time again when I speak to citizens in Gwent that talk to me about the visibility of officers on the streets. And one of the things that I say to the citizens that I'm talking to is that we have a whole range of threats to our safety as citizens, which are not about the visibility of policing on the streets. We need our police to be policing those virtual streets as well.
Exactly.
And that is so important in terms of keeping us all safe. So thank you for really illustrating that very clearly for us today. Chief Constable, I'd really like to thank you for joining me here today in the Threads exhibition. It's a really important event for us, and thank you for supporting that. And thank you for working together with us to address the serious issue of violence against women and girls here in Gwent. Thank you.
Thank you.